First mimosa in 7 months.
7?
I feel like
10.
you might have. For real?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
It was strong. I don't even know if I'm gonna have a good one. You too. Thank you. I don't even know if I'm gonna drink that. Alright, so my first outing with the family for brunch, we got Gigi, Mo, baby Cairo. So how's your first week being a Gigi, a grandma?
It's wonderful. It's the best moment ever. I've waited for this for a long time. And here it is.
How's your first week being a dad?
my first week being a dad, I'm still acclimating the new schedule. As you know, behind the scenes, I'm very frustrated. I'll be honest. But today we have to celebrate, have some brunch. I feel like everybody's been doing, putting their part in. Just to celebrate. You?
Well, I'm ecstatic. My little guy is finally here. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I feel like he's not close to me. I feel so distant. No, because the waiter is here. It's okay.
All right. This mimosa got us nice and loosey. Yeah.
Sorry, I don't
No,
want to
you're
get
good.
in there.
Can we get some ketchup, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. She can't handle the heat no more.
Nope. H2O.
H2O.
Welcome back to our channel. I'm Mel.
I'm Mo.
And we're back, but we're finally back with
+1.
a +1.
As you can see.
It's extremely hard to record now. Taking care of Cairo and then trying to record. As you can see, we tried to get him to go to sleep so we could record, but
We couldn't prolong any longer.
So
This is the only method.
he's on set.
This is our new life.
Very, very different.
So please bear with us if there is a week that we can't put out a video, because we try to put out a video
Once a week.
once a week, Mel'nMo Mondays, but
Right.
it's not gonna be as easy as it used to be now.
A lot of things that we thought was gonna be like super, like back to normal, it's definitely not. But I mean, that's what comes with it.
But this is what we just wanted. This video, we just wanted to go through our experience in the hospital. Yeah. So you want to start off?
Well, not even just the overall stay, because I feel like a lot of the footage didn't really capture what actually happened. But so I got contractions that same day that the video, we were walking, the first original video.
Right.
I got contractions around 11, so
PM.
from 11 p.m. that night. So from
11
till about
1:30.
1:30 in the morning.
We got to the hospital around like 2 something.
Yeah, I didn't exactly. I wasn't sure if I was gonna go because I didn't want them to turn me away. But so from 11 to 1:30, finally get to the hospital, and I was definitely in for a ride. I got there. I got the only reason they actually let me stay was because they diagnosed me that day, well that night, with preeclampsia. For those who don't know, it's like high blood pressure throughout your pregnancy, which will make it high risk. So that happens. I'm needed to get put on magnesium. So now I'm unable to walk or do anything. The contractions was so bad. they wanted to speed up my contractions, so they ended up giving me Pitocin. So now
I learned a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I learned a lot of drugs that they use.
Right. I'm getting the Pitocin, and after a while, the contractions were so bad, I actually begged the doctor for a C-section because I couldn't take it anymore, and I wasn't dilating as fast as like the average person would. So I'm just feeling all these contractions. I got the epidural. It failed, so I ended up feeling everything. Then it failed. They gave me a second epidural. That failed too. And
that's what led to us asking the doctor, like,
for a C-section.
Can we just go through C-section? Because man, knowing her, she has a very high tolerance, but for her to kind of, I'm not gonna say quit, but you know what I mean, like just
I felt like
let
I was
go,
gonna die.
Me?
And that's the honest truth. It was that bad for me. And I know childbirth is not easy for some people. You know, it happens in 5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever.
Yeah, and it's not easy for the person
watching,
for the people around you too.
Yeah. It was extremely excruciating. I will honestly say that I was in so much pain. I felt like I couldn't think, and at one point I was like, I honestly felt like I'm about to give up. Like my heart's probably gonna stop because the pain was so unbearable. Imagine asking someone to take off the medicine that they're giving you, and come to find out they didn't. What did they do? They said they lowered the dosage.
Yeah. So what they said was, okay, we'll take you off the Pitocin, which heightens her contractions.
Yeah.
But what was it like? It's one of the machines started beeping, so we called the nurse. They're like, hey, one of the machines beeping. They're like, oh, I don't know, something about the Pitocin. Basically, it wasn't off.
Yeah.
Like they said they were gonna turn it off, and I was like, what?
Yeah. But nonetheless, all of that happened around after they denied me the C-section. After I literally begged in tears, they denied it about 2 hours later.
Yeah, because it was the last draw. It was kind of like, yo, if you're not fully dilated, after the next 2 hour checkup, you know, basically have an open mind of C-section, which, you know, I have no problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then literally after they left, I want to say like 30 minutes in, it just got really bad. And so we called them, asked them, and then they didn't want to move it to C-section, but I'm sure they have their own protocol.
They have their own protocol, I'm sure. But God had to know why he didn't give me a C-section. I'm gonna say that because the whole time I'm in there, I started feeling delirious. It's like, yo, this baby's not coming. And then it was finally time to push 2 hours later. But I was there, well over 24 hours at that point. Well, a day and a half at that, past 24 hours.
It was like 28 hours, babe.
So that happens. The whole time in my head, I'm just like, please God, just get me through this. Because like I said, everybody tried. There's nothing that anybody can say to prepare you for childbirth. I don't care. Maybe a doula, they could probably tell you certain things to do, but when that pain takes over, it's a different level. But thank God I had like the best support person I could have possibly had. I was super sad my mom couldn't be in the room, and then like having him, because obviously he was going to be in the room as well, but he was like on 10. If you watch the other videos, you guys can see down to like my counts.
That's the thing. I was like, okay, cool, like less stress on me because your mom's gonna be there. She probably know what to do. She's been in labor twice.
Yeah,
but no, she wasn't. So I just knew. I was like, yo, she feeds off my energy. So, you know, I just had to take the lead. Literally. Whatever that may look like, you know what I mean? So I just try to do whatever I could do, and
it was amazing, as you guys can see. People's like, oh man, you're so lucky. I'm not lucky. I'm very blessed to have had him there and just super hands-on, super active. I don't know. I can honestly say I don't know if I would have got through that without him and that energy and just being genuine and comforting in that time. But And as I was saying, after that, it's time to push. I started pushing around like 6:30.
Yes.
About 6:30.
6:43.
Oh, he knows the exact time.
Because 6:43 was when the nurse came in. It's like, okay, yeah, we're going active labor. Like, well, it's been active labor, but like, we're gonna go push.
Time to push, yeah.
Text my family's text chat. You know what I mean? At
Oh,
6:45 a.m. So I'm like, okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, 6:43.
So I'm pushing. I'm feeling I'm getting nowhere. I'm asking him like, "Are you seeing anything?" He's like, "No." Then they're like, "Oh my God, he has so much hair," and I'm like, "What?"
I thought they were lying. I'm like, I was just
like,
looking at it.
Yeah, I looked at him. I said, "Are they lying?" Because I was completely drained at that point. But
I thought they were lying just to make you
feel better. Like,
yeah.
Keep pushing. So I finally push, and everything's going out. That happens what
8:27.
8:27. He's out. As you guys know, I'm not gonna be emotional. So I think they put him on my chest to like wipe him or shake him.
I don't remember.
But
everything.
It was happening so fast, but I never like held him or did any of that. They kind of took him, and you went with them, and by then, I'm having surgery sewing me up because I tore in like I tore in 7 places. I had 2nd-degree tears, and that.
Yeah.
So that happens. My cervix tears, all the rest of the tears. They're sewing everything up, and Cairo's off to the NICU due to the magnesium. He was breathing extremely fast, and obviously I'm on magnesium, so some of that magnesium transferred down to him. So he's not moving how they wanted him to move, etc.
A little drowsy.
But breathing extremely fast. And
it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot. I'm just damn.
It's nothing to
because I got you over here, right, and then I got Cairo on this side where they're like, I'm like
trying to go back and forth.
And you kind of feel the vibe of the doctors, you know what I mean? And they're kind of, I feel a sense of worry or something,
right?
You know what I mean?
And I'm like, damn,
I'm looking at them like, I'm trying to soak in everything, you know? Forget the recording and all that, you know what I mean? Like, this is the moment, right?
Yeah.
Like, it'd be funny for me to have camera, right? So I'm looking at you, I'm like, damn, she needs my help. At the same time, I'm like, yo, what's going on? You know what I mean? It was a lot, but got through it. I know for sure.
Throwing up while they're sewing me back. It was a very interesting experience, but nonetheless, we got through it. Every day that he was in the NICU, we were praying. I'm praying.
Yeah, people praying over him.
Yeah, I called my mom and I'm like, this is what's going on, and she's like, you need to pray this prayer. Every time I went to the NICU, I was like breathing over him, like, you're gonna breathe normal. You're not gonna be hooked up to these machines and stuff. But
it's very heartbreaking to see, you know.
Very. I can definitely empathize. I couldn't imagine being a parent and having to see that for a longer period of time, because you almost want to switch with your kid. Like, I don't even want you to be in pain. It'll be me. But God definitely did a turnaround in a very minimal time. So I'm more than grateful that he didn't have to spend days and days, or we had to go home without him being there.
And we were discharged together.
Right.
And
that was the blessing.
Right. And when they were telling us, you're like, you know,
how far do you live?
Yeah.
They're trying to prepare us to come back, but God had other plans.
Yep.
So how do you think your first week has been with Cairo? Well, weeks.
First weeks?
Yeah.
Outside once we got discharged?
Yeah.
Oh man. First week is tough. Yo, first week is tough. I think every week gets better. This is like the 3rd week, right? You don't know days. All you know is time, because it's time for him to eat. You know what I mean?
Cairo eats
clockwork.
Like
every 2 hours.
outside of house and home, really.
Literally, he's clockwork. sometimes there's just no words to describe. You just gotta like experience it to know. So for those that already have a child, you guys know what I'm talking about. But it's tough, but you know what I mean? It's like there's no one to complain to, or you can't even complain. You know what I mean? That's yours, solely yours. All, you know, we are co-parenting as well as what is co-parenting? What does that mean? Is that the wrong term?
We not co-parenting. We
I'm
live
sorry.
together.
Oh, my fault. I meant like both of us.
Well, so before that, shout out to my mom who's here, that's helping us.
Right.
It's like an extremely big help. Due to the fact that all they keep telling me, because I have stitches and I'm still in a lot of pain and stuff like that, go rest, do all of this, you know. I'm not as hands-on as I want to be with him.
Yeah, but like for real, me and Gigi, we're really telling her like, yo, it's more harm if you rolling or moving around over here trying to be helpful, and you know what I mean, like holding the baby around. But you know, the faster you recover, the more hands we can actually have around the house, and she's just been amazing, you know.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's just like I said, easier said than done to be a parent, to be a first time mom, and not feel like you're doing everything you can for your child at that moment is extremely hard. So you just try to get into a space where you don't let it overtake you, or you know what I mean. So that's a struggle that I've been dealing with. Still wanted to like do everything, but also know that I actually need rest. Like my body is not at 100, not even at 75% yet. So I'm getting better though. I'm trying to get better.
I just hope we don't look too drained.
Yes, it's been extremely.
But again, it gets better, and that's what everybody's saying, and I believe it. I think every week, because now we're acclimating to our schedule and his, which is really hard. But as he's going older too, you know what I mean, you just know how to manage your time. And again, we have her, me, and my mother-in-law Gigi. That's such a big help right now. How was your first week out?
My first week, like I said, I'm more like still like it's my I be like feeling like I'm gawking over him or something, like, oh, let me get him, this is the third. But then I don't have like I'll be holding him, and then I can't hold him anymore because I'll like my back will start hurting or my stitches is hurting, so I can't walk with him. So I have to like find one of them to take him. So it's like it's extremely hard. And I mean, any mother who has had to recover, I guess, and still have their kid would know what I mean. It's extremely hard because you want that bonding time. Because like I said, I didn't get to do it in the hospital really. So you just try to find any way. Like I always have him sleeping on my chest.
What's the most challenging thing that you've experienced thus far?
Not knowing what's wrong with him when he's crying.
Oh yeah.
Probably it.
My goodness.
You don't know if he's wet, if he's hungry, because he eats so much now. He's going through like a growth spurt. So after like we try to like go through as much comments as possible and like read them and reply to them. We might not get to like everybody, but I appreciate all the support and just like the blessings and love that everybody's been sending. That has been extremely genuine and like a big help when you read those things. 'Cause it's like these complete strangers who have vested time into like even watching us and tuning in and actually, you know, sending their love from wherever they are. That has been extremely good. I like to read them. Yeah. And it feels
our comments has all been like
positive
blessings, you know what I mean? Like for real, like everybody, I love how a lot of the people that tune into our channels, whether you subscribe or not, that tune in like and leave a comment, you know, are faith-based, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because usually
I think that's amazing to have that kind of community.
Absolutely. But God will send you the exact people You know what I mean? And even those who aren't, they might tune in and see it and have a change of heart. So that's like extremely nice to see. I see everybody that loves the fact that Mo prays before we do anything. What do you think about that?
I mean, that's just kind of like how our marriage
life
is. You know what I mean? So for me personally, when people were commenting and like, oh my god, da da da, I was kind of, you know what I mean? I was kind of curious, like, I mean, you know what I mean? It's like, to me, it's like, yeah, you're supposed to. Like, at the time, how do you not pray? You know what I mean? But
I guess it was different for them to see. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But that's our life. Like, we're not saying it in like a boastful way, but that's something that we do on a regular. So to portray that and you guys to now see the most intimate parts of our life, that was like so normal for us, but we didn't realize that wasn't like the norm for the vast majority of people. So that was cool. At least you can inspire others to kind of take those mannerisms with them. So I am, everybody says I'm lucky, but I'm very blessed to have a husband like that, in all honesty. That's more, everybody, in a marriage, everybody expects the woman to be the person doing it, but I pray, he prays, but when it comes to a situation where I feel like my husband is covering our family and stuff like that, like, I have no problem taking the back seat because I'm praying right behind him. So it's like, yo, do your thing. But he's amazing in those areas. He's been super supportive throughout this whole process, so I can't complain at all.
Do you have any tips for future mothers?
Drink lots of water. I don't really have any tips yet. I'm not 100%. Give me about another month and a half. I have so much more tips. What I will say is a lot of the things that we thought we needed, we didn't.
Like what?
Like a wipe warmer.
Oh,
stuff like
man.
that. Definitely didn't need those things. We might use them in the future, but right now we don't even use it.
So let's tell them what they really need.
What I think you really need?
Let's say for us,
Pampers.
Pampers. And when the hospital says, yo, if you need some, let us know. We took a good bag, like a big size bag, right? And I was like, okay, that should be enough. I don't want to, look like we're taking everything off their inventory, right? But take that bag, put it in your car, come back, and take 2 more. I'm telling you, because they run through that crazy fast. Vaseline.
It's just a lot. Wipes. Like I said, get essential stuff. We went and we had a whole bunch of stuff that he just does not use. Yeah,
I mean, it's still very early on. Yeah. But there are some things we can be like, okay, we can probably live without.
Right. Yeah. But outside of that, I don't really have any tips besides rest. People say rest when your baby's resting. That's very hard to do. I just want to say that. But I have some tips later on in our videos. Right now, I don't have any tips to give. It's too early for me.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for our supporters, our new subscribers, and letting us know that you're new subscribers on the comment.
We're gonna obviously try to go more in depth and try to record as much as we can coming up in the future, so it won't be like us sitting down and just talking to you guys. You'll kind of see us interacting and stuff like that. But for right now, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuously sending your love and support. It is absolutely not gonna go to waste. We're gonna make sure we continue to give you guys content.
Yes.
So on that note,
like, comment, subscribe.
And subscribe.